USA Today, is college worth it? Goldman Sachs says not so much. College is certainly an investment, but is it worth it? Maybe not, according to new research from Goldman Sachs. The company said in a research note published in early December that the average return on college is falling. In 2010, students could expect to break even within 8 years of finishing school. Since then, that has increased to 9 years, and if this trend continues, students who went to college will know it will be 10 years. I couldn't resist. I'm sorry. It's just like USA Today's writing is, woohoo, went from 8 to 9. If this trend continues, I had to edit. I'm sorry. Students who start college in 2030 without scholarships or grants, it said, may not see a return on investment until age 37. Recent graduates can relate to the report. Mary Kate Bauman, a 2010 graduate of a private college in upstate New York, who also graduated from journalism and business graduate programs at the University of Missouri, this year said, my undergraduate education was $200,000 in total. My first job paid only $28,000. That's a large disparity. You think. Goldman Sachs calculated the economic return on college education as the total all-in cost of college, net grants and scholarships, and the wages forgone during the 4 years of the study versus a high school graduate over their working life. Of course, many students say college is money well spent. I think it's worth it to grow as a person, and there are so many other experiences that college teaches you, said Vanderbilt University senior Chris Wolk, who plans to go into the consulting field after he paid $56,000 a year for tuition at Vanderbilt. It's just so funny, you guys. I'm sorry. People that are ignorant about education, is just the oxymoronic part of that makes me to get tickled. I can't resist. All right, let's hit the education topic one more time, since USA Today has helped us with this, and Goldman Sachs is calculating the return on investment. At least somebody's thinking that there ought to be an ROI. That's a good thought. There ought to be an ROI. There ought to be an ROI. Here's the thing. There's a rule in statistics, and often when a liberal is arguing with me, they bring the rule up, and it's a valid rule called causation or correlation does not necessarily imply causation. So because college students' incomes are higher, we correlate that with the fact that they went to, or college graduates' incomes are higher. We correlate that and say that the income was caused by the fact that they went to college. And the rule in stats is you can't necessarily say the cause of their higher income is their college education. Well, what would it be then? Well, it could be that the very things that cause them in their character to go to college in the first place and complete college, the ability to complete something, the ability to drive through the lane and put the ball in the hoop, called grit. Maybe grit is what caused their higher income, not college. But maybe grit leads you to college because you want to be smarter. So maybe it's not necessarily causation and correlation situation. It really... listen, I'm all about education. All three of my kids went to school. I told them we were going to have them shot if they didn't. So they all four got 4-year degrees, okay? I mean, we believe in education around the Ramseys. Being dumb is really not a good idea. I mean, learning stuff is a smart thing. But we have completely taken this college thing and blown it up, and in this country and in this culture, and we've lost our ever-loving minds. I mean, this chick who goes and gets $200,000 for her undergraduate and... goes and gets a $28,000 job. I mean, somewhere along the line, you never got a clue, kiddo. I mean, what were you studying? I mean, you got a degree in business and in journalism, and your first job's making $28K. Logistics majors are coming out now. Supply chain people are coming out now making 50 to 60 with an undergrad only. So maybe if you're going to study something, you ought to stop and freaking think about what it's going to pay when you get out of school. There should be a correlation to what you're studying. That would keep you from getting a degree in miscellaneous stupid stuff. Got a PhD in German polka history, and then I can't figure out why I can't get a job. Because there are no jobs for doctorates in German polka history. That's just ridiculous. But the society owes me a dadgum living because I'm highly educated and I'm a twit. And, that's just ridiculous, people. See, what we have here is really not an education problem, really not a cost of college problem. What we have here is a parenting problem. Some of you people are raising twits. And then you turn them loose on the culture and act like college ruined them. No, they were ruined long before they got to college. College just exposed that they were twits. And the fact that you go $300,000 in debt to get a degree in women's studies and then can't figure out that being a full-time feminist is probably not a career track. It just doesn't work out for you. And they can't figure out why you can't make a living. Sorry. If you're going to study broadcasting, you ought to find out where radio people get paid, which I'll help you with that. Most of them, not much. So, don't go spend $400,000 getting a degree in broadcasting so you can be a sportscaster at the local high school game and starve to death. Seriously, think about what you're going to do with the degree. And since most 18-year-olds don't have that ability, this is a parenting thing. You moms and dads need to put your arm around that little child of yours that looks like an adult because their body is large, but their brain has not yet grown in fully. And you need to walk with them and go, no, stupid, you can't do this. I love you too much to allow you to take this track with your field of study and where you're going to school to get your degree that you can't afford. So maybe everyone can't afford to go to a private college. Maybe everyone can't afford to go to Harvard or Yale. Maybe everyone can afford to drive a Bentley. And so what do? You get a used pickup. It's not a bad thing, by the way. A lot of times the guy driving the used pickup's got more brains than the guy driving the Bentley. So just think. So here's the thing. You want your children to be successful? Yes, education's important in a field of study that is actually applicable in the marketplace at a school that is cheap enough that it will ROI sometime in this freaking century. That's thing one. Thing two is the education is just part of the equation. Teaching your kids grit, how to play through, how to work hard, how to bathe before they go to a job interview, how to smile when they go to a job interview, how to squeeze a hand firmly but not ridiculously firm and smile, how to say thank you, how to talk to an employer about what they can bring to the table instead of acting like a parasite and asking what the employer is going to pay. Teach your children some walking around sense. Now there's a correlation that you can get that'll cause success. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Well, you guys would be so rich so fast and be able to do so much not only for yourselves and for your family, but for others.